Still going, huh?
Street Fighter usually.
Depends. In today's day and age, probably like any DLC characters.
Okay.
Like mostly DLC characters. Usually the legacy characters are still the ones that still work. You know, Ken, Ryu, Guile, stuff like that. But yeah, anything that's DLC has the potential to be either really busted or horrible.
Really?
Yeah.
You want to know how deep my stripes go in the fighting game community, which I've actually never had any involvement in. But when I was in like third grade,
What's up?
I wrote a letter to Nintendo Power magazine
Oh shit, Nintendo
explaining why Dalzim was the best Street Fighter character.
Oh, now to talk
And
about
I think
games.
This was like the era where like Street Fighter 2 or Street Fighter 2 Turbo would have been like the main game or whatever. And I basically said in the letter, in my like, 9-year-old brain or whatever, I was like, Dalzim is clearly the best character because he can stretch his arms out and he can breathe fire.
Damn.
And they published that.
Oh, they published it.
I get the idea. I was not right.
Yeah. I mean, nah, that's the name of the game to this day. When you play them, that's what it is.
This is all about the stretchy arms and the fire.
Exactly. You can't get past that character. If somebody's a guru with that character, good luck.
That's just crazy to me. I got my letter published. That was like the biggest thrill ever to me at that point in my life.
You got to find that magazine and frame it.
Yeah, I because like somebody uploaded like the full archive of Nintendo Power, and I went and found it at one point a few years back. I would have to do it all over again. I think it was a Street Fighter cover.
It's
if
on
anybody
eBay.
wants to find it.
Anything you want is on eBay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll find it.
What do you think the future of video games is? Because it's like every once in a while you see, okay, like
Why are you asking him that? He doesn't have no knowledge.
Revolutionized by Fortnite and the battle royale format and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Is that ever going to happen again to fighting games, or are fighting games just kind of like destined to be this sort of niche category forever? Or will it be revolutionary?
I think it'll be a niche forever, fighting games, because it's not a broad enough spectrum. So, I mean, how do you really turn a fighting game into anything battle royale, you know?
How would
So
he
it's
know?
just like, I feel like fighting games
Exactly.
are always going to be stuck in that particular category. But that's why they started making them easier, because they want more people to play. So when you dumb down the fighting game, now you have somebody that was alienated before, feel like, okay, now I could play this shit too.
Right.
So that's why they make the fighting games easier now, because they're trying to make them more mainstream instead of stuck in a particular category.
It's like, what could they possibly do to really switch things up to make it more marketable? It's kind of hard to think of like where the genre would go that would make it have a wider appeal, like the way that Fortnite was able to kind of capture a lot of people who never really like or who thought that they were done with first-person shooters and stuff.
Well, what they're doing is modern controls.
First-person shooter
So
mode.
modern controls, I press 2 buttons instead of doing directional, and a button. Now I just press 2 buttons for a super.
Really?
So yeah, that's what every fighting game is doing now. There's modern controls.
And do you feel like that takes a lot away from it?
I mean, yeah, but that's what the companies want, because I mean they got to make their money. So if you could play with modern controls and I got to play traditional and you could beat me with modern, that's the goal. They want more people to play that never played fighting games before to be able to beat you with 2 buttons, 1 button. As fucked up as it sounds, that's the name of the game.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, everything has modern controls. Tekken, Street Fighter, all of it. Mortal Kombat.
Oh, hey, Richard.
Yeah, well, actually, does Mortal Kombat have it? Nah, they just made their game easier.
Well, okay, you tell me if I'm
Adam's
wrong.
chat now.
It feels like, because like my kid's real into Mario, so sometimes I'll put on fucking videos of people playing like the more recent Mario games.
Yeah.
And it's like, I feel like you never see a
Mario
side-to-side
hardly
scroller
misses
Mario
when it comes to
game
games.
anymore. It's all like some weird 3D thing where you could travel into the background or whatever. But then at a certain point, people were acting like, oh, now it's
Damn,
Tekken.
even
like,
his mother's
you know,
name, too?
2D
That's crazy.
fighting games are over. But then that doesn't feel like it really panned out, right? Like all the popular fighting games now are 2D.
Yeah, I mean the only popular 3D fighting game is Tekken.
Right.
That's it. But that's been the marquee 3D fighting game. I mean there was a bunch of trash 3D fighting games in the past, but
Right.
I mean the one that stood the stands of time is
But it's just a
Tekken.
camera angle anyway, right?
I mean it's different movements. It's not just back and forth like a sidestep.
Oh, you could
like,
sidestep, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna beat anybody who's a professional Tekken pro. Like it's not gonna happen unless I'm just really playing with those type of players all the time.
You would just call him a fucking sexless.
So Tekken over time has kept that thing about it where it's just not built for norms unless you really go in the lab and really play with these top players. Street Fighter's not like that.
Are there any like classic fighting games that are extremely niche that you have some love for that are just very, very, because I'm thinking like Clay Fighters for Super Nintendo. Remember that?
I do.
Claymation, like there was a snowman and shit.
The only one that really hits like that for me is like Street Fighter 3 Third Strike.
Yeah, I don't know that.
It's the most difficult Street Fighter game. Like, it's not rewarding. If you're trash, you're not beating me, vice versa. Like, I can't beat a pro at Third Strike, but I could beat, like, you know, I'm good at it, but I'm not beating like a Japanese pro.
When I was a kid, I would always get the video game magazines, and they would have articles about Neo Geo.
I'm not good at any
but
game.
it was like $700 or some shit, and like the games were like $200 or some shit. So it was like totally like never gonna happen. But then they started to bring like Samurai Showdown to the consoles and stuff, and I was fucking super into that shit.
They brought it back. Samurai Showdown dropped. I want to say maybe like 4 or so years ago, but it was just trash. Like it didn't resonate to today's fighting games whatsoever. It was just really slow. It was just boring. It's just like, this shit's trash.
Yeah. It's a tough marketplace these days for sure.
Yeah. But, I mean, they'll figure it out. Modern controls, you could pick up the shit and probably beat me.
You're making me want to do that. Maybe once I'm done with the watermelon game. I'm just hoping that it's like a week-long addiction and not like a multi-month addiction because that...
Is it one player or is it online?
It's online.
Oh, see.
No. It's one player, at least what I've been doing so far. I wouldn't be surprised if they come out with a 2-player version, but I haven't got it on Switch yet because it looks way sexier on Switch. Like the pieces are just bouncing and moving way better than the desktop version.
Oh, okay. So you're playing on desktop. Yeah. See, if it had online, I could get addicted to it. Like my thing is I like playing shit online. I like beating humans and shit. So, yeah. Now, if there's back-to-back, you got a screen, I got a screen like Tetris, yeah. But by myself, I'll be like, damn, I want to play online.
I got so into Tetris 99.
Yeah.
It took over my life.
Just played it yesterday.
I set a standard for myself that if I won 10 battle royales in a row, then I would stop. And I did. I hit 10, and then I haven't played it since.
Oh, you actually got first place on 99?
10 times in a row, yeah.
Damn. So you know how to T-spin?
I'm pretty good at T-spinning, but there's another level of T-spin, like I forget what it's called, that I never really bothered to learn. But there's a guy named Wumbo on YouTube who I'm subscribed to who plays Tetris 99 like a motherfucker. Like I've never seen anything like it in my life, and I got like obsessed with him, and I got obsessed with learning to T-spin.
Yeah, the highest I got with no T-spins is 3rd place.
Really?
Yeah, I just drop shit fast, and I just move fast. But T-spinning, if I was to T-spin, yeah, I don't T-spin. I just drop everything.
Nah, T-spinning is essential. I was trying to win games just by doing like getting Tetrises, getting 4 lines at a time for a while, and then once I started to do the T-spins and I really started to set it up for multiple T-spins in a row, that's when I started to really like.
That's how you destroy the game. Yeah. With the T-spins, yep. Tetris Splash is like, to me, that was the best one ever.
It's scary to play a game just knowing that there's an army of Asian people on the other side of the world who are just going to be better at this game than you, no matter what you do.
Puyo Puyo Tetris, when I see...
Oh my God, I've watched people play that, and I never actually played it myself, but it looks so gnarly.
Yeah, it is. When I see, like, anybody from Japan, I know I'm going to lose. As soon as they hop on the screen, it's over.
I play Pokemon Go, and when you go to Japan, it is just like everyone is playing Pokemon Go.
Damn, really?
It's fucking trippy.
Wow.
And then you come back to America and nobody plays it, and I feel like a loser again.
Nobody plays. I mean, you can find streamers who play it, but for the most part, yeah, I would say that's definitely like an overseas game.
I'm friends with Ninja on Pokemon Go, and he just randomly will like invite me to raids in the game, and that just fucking weirds me out that this guy's like playing games for a living, and then also will just play Pokemon Go in his spare time.
Damn.
I'm like, what are you doing?
Wait, Go is when you go outside.
Yes.
Oh, damn. Yeah, last time that was like a big thing in 2016?
2016.
That's the point of the game, goddamn.
I didn't know people still played that.
I know, it's deeply embarrassing for me as a person who played it every single day since it came out.
Damn.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. Okay, so what's the future for you? Like, where do you see your career going? You seem like you're in a pretty good place, especially for somebody who has this whole reputation of being all conflicted and crazy and shit. You seem like you're pretty happy with where you're at right now.
Yeah, I mean, I would say I'm definitely blessed for sure. Like, considering where I came from, definitely
shit's
blessed.
still
to have a fan
going.
base, still be
Crazy.
here for so many years.
You know, I actually left
I do
the
have personal
video,
goals for myself.
and I
love
watched this
streaming.
random
love
ass
streaming.
video
do miss doing YouTube.
I
Obviously,
saw
that's
in
out
my
the window.
my
I mean,
recommendation.
my next thing is
And then there was
I
like
would
a
love
girl
to
that was
just
like
conquer
moaning
something else
crazily.
like
I was
that.
like, yeah, I'm
it's
went back
difficult.
to
It's hard.
I went back to the
You
interview.
read a script and you're trained. It's just like, damn, I'm trash. But just like the high of being able to get good at doing something so difficult like that, like that's what I would love to do.
Yeah, that's
They
like
want to stream.
the
'cause-
craziest mountain to climb because it's just like a social challenge as well. You have to like
It's a
meet
grind,
people and slowly worm yourself into these positions, right?
Yeah, and, you know, people like Pedro Pascal, like if you look at his Wikipedia, he's been acting since like the early 90s. And he just now got a buzz with like 4 years ago
Really?
to the point where it's just like, okay, that's Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm fans of actors instead of just like rappers and shit like that. Like I like people who study the craft, who do the craft. Like it's the most difficult art form. So, I mean, I still want to stream because now for streaming, you can make more than an actor. But
And now streaming is like easy to you. That's just like the thing that you can just
Yeah.
plunk your ass down and do it for 6 hours and it's
Exactly.
whatever. Whereas it's good to have the thing that you're an expert at and the thing where you're like trying to climb this impossibly huge fucking mountain that feels like you're never gonna get to the end.
yeah, and that's how I feel about acting. Like, I'm like, damn, if I could pull this shit off, everything I said I wanted to do is like in fruition. Like, damn. So that would be like the climax for me of life is becoming like, even if I'm like a B or C tier, I don't give a fuck. Just as long as I'm like some form of an actor.
Right.
Then after that, you know, I'd just like to be 80 years old and just die on Mars in like a underground or bubbled city. Yeah.
Say die
I
on
saw some
Mars,
video
bro.
footage
What?
of Mars with like audio added in of what it would actually sound like with the wind and shit. And I'm like, this doesn't. I don't think I want to go there.
Yeah, I mean, if it's built up, that's like my dream. Just go to a different galaxy or something like that. But we'll probably never see it. But
No fresh air would be tough.
yeah, that's the only thing I would miss about Earth. Is the fresh air. But yeah, just to be like 80 something and just like die on a different planet, that would be dope.
I went to Wyoming one time and the fresh air just was like, oh my God, like what the fuck am I doing in LA?
It hit different.
So different.
Yeah, a lot of people are leaving LA though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen an article where Chris Brown said, "I'm done with California.
Right.
I'm out of here."
Elon Musk and Joe Rogan are probably inviting him out to the comedy mothership.
Yeah, a lot of celebrities are selling their LA homes and they're getting the fuck out of Dodge.
It's crazy to be like basically a professional clout chaser. It's like I can't leave because it's like I have to stay as close as possible to where the famous people or the interesting people or the people who just make for good podcasts are going to be at.
So you feel like you're gonna stay in LA forever, or?
It's like I don't really know how I would leave at a certain point. And also it's like a crazy thing happens when your kid is in school.
Okay.
And you just realize like, oh fuck, if I were to ever want to leave, it would be a huge thing.
Yeah, my thing is, I would never want to like leave Cali, but I would like to have like another place somewhere else where I could like escape here and there. But out of all the places I've been, like nothing tops Cali.
You ain't got passport, G.
Just nothing tops it.
I love New York because I love like the energy of the city and there's that electrifying feeling of like waking up and you can hear the city moving and you walk outside and there's people just moving around everywhere. But then also that's like being kind of high profile. That feels a lot less cool.
Bro,
Makes
New
it actually
York
feel
is
very
way
dangerous
too
and like
fucking
really
much.
like not the energy I want to be around.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
But then I also like when I lived in Austin back in the day and shit, it's like I do like that Texas vibe of everything being kind of wide open, which Austin is not a good example of that, but just like just down south having some more room to yourself and everything, that feels attractive to me. But for now, I'm definitely not.
Yeah, just Cali.
I'm just stuck here.
Yeah.
Bunch of gangbangers and prostitutes.
Depending on where you're at, like one corner is like this, and then the next corner is like some top tier apartments they're building.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely LA for you. That's the LA area for you. Yep.
I'm just gonna keep going for it until I feel like I'm sufficiently irrelevant, and then I'll dip off and just be like, all right, I'm gonna go to Hawaii or some shit.
That's what everybody does.
That's the dream.
Yeah, I'm done with Cali.
But I'm not gonna give it up until the clout really like kicks me out and like is just like, no, we have no use for you in this ecosystem anymore.
On some Joe Rogan type shit.
Yeah. Well, man, he was doing better than ever, and he fucking made his way to Texas. So
Yeah, he just couldn't stomach it.
yeah,
Yeah, it feels. I mean, how some people feel about Vegas. I mean, feel about Cali. I feel about Vegas. So I hate Las Vegas. So
I hate everything about it besides as a poker player. I love it.
see, there's only one thing to love. Then. Yeah, but as far as the atmosphere, it sucks.
They got some good strip clubs.
I mean, probably that too.
Not really my thing, but I've had some electrifying experiences at the strip clubs in Vegas.
Oh shit! I mean, that's what it's bred for. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Where should they tap in with you if they've somehow watched this whole thing?
Finally, this is about to end.
You
Yes.
guys could tap in. Low Tier God on Twitch. Low Tier God anywhere. Twitter, Twitch. But if you want to see me live, it's going to be on Twitch. That's Low Tier God spelled the correct way. That's where you can find me.
Let's go. Tap inwardly. Shout out to the fighting game community. Shout out to the hip hoppers who thought that they were about to see an interview with a new drill rapper when they clicked on this.
Yeah, this is different.
Sorry to let you down. But great conversation. Thank you, man. I appreciate
Absolutely.
your time. We got to do this again sometime.
Most definitely.
Absolutely
Okay,
not.
Low Tier God, no jumper. Coolest podcast in the world. Check us out on YouTube, TikTok, Patreon, Instagram, etc. Like, comment, and subscribe. NoJumper.com if you want to support.
It's finally done. Let's go. Holy shit, that was a fucking roller coaster. Criminy. Criminy Christ, that was a long ass interview. Let's go. Now it's finally fucking done. Yes. Crap. Jeez. Anyways.